guys, this is the Halfling of the Halfling and Spaceman. This is our segment of Catching Up With, and tonight we are catching up with Bobby Nash. Bobby was here with us back in April, and I've had a chance since then to read some of his snow books, stories, and I have thoroughly enjoyed them. They're just such a fun ride, so we're happy to have him back. Uh, Bobby, glad to have you back, and just talk us through it. Catch us up. What you been up to?
Oh, well, speaking of snow, I mean, the newest snow book just came out. It's called Snow Hunt.
Awesome.
Very cool. I'm actually this weekend, as we're recording this, I'm doing this weekend the official launch. We're having a big book signing event, so that should be fun. Um, yeah, so um, so I'm very excited that's out and seems people to be enjoying it so far. I'm also working on promoting. I've got a 6 book comic book series that will be out on December 15th, primarily in libraries. People can buy it, but library is the main target audience for this particular publisher. But it's called Crime. It's 6 individual books that are crime fiction stories set during a real historical event. So there's a lot of research and information on the real events. I don't have anything to show, but if you go to bobbynash.com, you can see the covers and read about each one. So that was a lot of fun because I love writing crime fiction, obviously. And so when the publisher came to me and said, we want to write some crime stories for teenagers, but then work these historical events in. I was over the moon. It was so much fun. The events were they pick the moments. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I did a lot of research, and I love research, so that was fun. And so I'm very very excited. So hopefully people will go check those out from your library, or I mean, they're like I said, they'll be available for sale as well. But libraries will have them. So I'm very excited about having them in libraries and doing some events next year with libraries to go talk about the books, but also talk about how to create comics. So I'm setting up some of those with some libraries now. So that's exciting. And then
Nice.
other than
Nice.
that, the next thing coming out, I wrote a Lone Ranger story, which should be out either in December or January. So I'm very excited about that. And then other
Mm-hmm.
than that, just keeping busy. there's been a lot of there's been a lot of work. This has been a very heavy workload year. So not that I'm complaining. It's fun to have the work. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Yeah, and hopefully next year I'll be just as busy, and at least that's the plan.
Yeah. Sounds like a good plan.
I think so. Yeah. I like being busy.
Well, it'll
Me
keep you out
doing
of
me sitting
trouble.
around doing nothing is a recipe for disaster. Yeah.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
If you don't stay
But
busy,
you can
then you
see,
stay. Huh?
yeah, and you can see all the covers and info and all this at bobbynash.com. There's a coming attractions tab. So, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, I
Okay.
think I talked too fast. I beat the timer.
No, no. Well, I was going to ask you about your Patreon because I think
hmm
you had some short stories available through Patreon last time we
I
talked.
do. Yeah, I do serialized books. Well, that's actually how I did Snow Hunt. I put up a chapter a week. And right now I'm doing the 3rd book in the Sheriff Myers series called Standing on the Shadows. And we're also doing a Lance Star with a newspaper here in Georgia. And so when they release it, I release the chapter on Patreon as well. So, yeah, so I try to give stuff, so they've got exclusives to stories before they go on sale to the public. So, yes. And plus, it helps me stay motivated to get those chapters done every week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
So it's
we
good. It's
we
very helpful.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, no, it's just very helpful for me to do those weekly chapters and stay on target.
Yeah, well, I can see that. I guess it would be easy to sort of, decide. Well, I just don't feel like doing it right now. I'll do it later, and it becomes a pattern. But I
Yeah.
did want to ask you because we talked before we actually came on the air. We talked about uh, one of the conventions that we are going to be attending, and you'll be there as well. Tell us about what conventions you've got coming up next year so far.
Yeah. The only thing I have in December is December 3rd. I'm doing the snow hunt launch party in Monroe, Georgia, at the Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. Um, I have I've set up a few things for 2024. I'm going to be at RetCon, which is the one you were talking about
Mm-hmm.
in North Carolina, so I'm very excited. It'll be my first time there. I'm also doing. I'm sorry, I'm pulling it off the top of my head. The Atlanta Comic Convention is 4 times a year. I do that one. I'm set up at the Southeastern Writers Conference in July. I'm teaching a class. I'm also God, there's another one. I'm blanking. Sorry. I'll probably be at Dragon Con. I'm sure there'll be more as we go along. But right now, those are what I know off the top of my head are out there.
Okay. Well, do you
So
put your schedule on your website so people
I
know
do. Yes.
where they can find you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's at bobbynash.com, and it's also at ben-books.com. So yeah, and I just checked. Those are the only cons I've got on the schedule for right now. So
Okay.
yeah, but there will be more. I'm in the process of talking with a few places now about doing some stuff, and I like the cons, so I like traveling. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
they're a lot of fun.
we're certainly looking forward to getting a chance to actually meet you at RecCon next year. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, likewise.
But how have the sales been going for you? We've been doing pretty well with the new books that have been coming out.
Doing okay, doing okay. We're some do better than others. Most of my online sales tend to be ebooks. Or audiobooks for the ones we have. I move a lot of paper books through the signings, the conventions, and bookstores, going and doing bookstore events and libraries and stuff like that. So it's a nice little mix. But most of what people go to like Amazon and get tends to be ebooks. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always out there plugging them. We do a lot of I get out there and do a lot of promotion and press releases, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah.
Right. Right. Uh, well, you mentioned audiobooks. You have your books on audio, or
A lot of them, yeah. The bin book stuff that I do, almost all of them are snow and etc. Um, the other ones that I do for publishers, some of them are, some of them aren't. The publishers have more control over which ones get it and when they get it, and than I do. I've got a few I still on my end. I don't have such a night doesn't have one yet. The Evil Ways and Evil Intent don't yet. Um, I've had like 3 different people start on Evil Ways and they just don't finish. So I've got to get that done.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's only so many hours in the day.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I'm right there with you. Um, well, last time we talked, and this may have been before we actually recorded, you had mentioned, which I thought was a brilliant idea, about doing a series of YouTube videos where you go and visit
Hmm.
places that your stories have actually been taking place. Have you given any more thought to that? Have you done
I
anything with
give
that
thought to it
idea
a
at this
lot.
point?
Yeah, yeah, I give thought to it a lot. It's the doing it that I haven't been able to get to. Yeah, I still think it's a great idea. I
Oh, I
I
do
think it
too.
would be a lot of fun. Yeah. So it's just finding the time to do it, and I would need to write the script
Mm-hmm.
and then do it, and then I would have to get someone to come film it help me, and I just haven't maybe once it's a little warmer weather, maybe spring, that could be fun. So we'll see. It's an idea. I get so many of them that I'm like, this is a great idea. We'll do it later.
uh, too many ideas, too little time, right?
Yeah, there's just I get more ideas for stories than I will ever have time to write in my lifetime.
Right. Do you keep a journal? Because I've heard a lot of
No, I
writers.
keep a I have a file. Yeah, I have a file on the laptop. When new ideas come in, I'll jot down the idea and I'll save the ideas. And if I sometimes I get to them. Sometimes the ideas are used later. Like snow was actually three different ideas I shoved together because when the original publisher came to me, they were like, "What do you got? We need a plot." And I just reached into that memory in the back of my head and grabbed three different things and shoved them together and said, "How about this?" Yeah. So yeah, so the having those is good, but yeah, there's a lot of ideas though that just you never can get to.
Yeah. Well, the idea for the snow stories has worked out well for you. I mean, I'm a big fan. I'll just go ahead and say that it really was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to reading more of the snow stories for sure.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Uh,
Yeah, I love them. It's very much like the kind of stuff I would if I wasn't writing them. This is the kind of stuff I read.
huh.
So yeah, so they're a lot of fun. And I've started the next book, book 8, which is called Snow Island, which is going to take place in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've always said that the snow books are kind of like my love letter to like the Rockford Files and Magnum PI and things of that type. So they all go to Hawaii eventually. So I figured, yeah, it was time. So
Hmm. Well, yeah. If you're gonna, so you want to set that story in Hawaii?
at least just that one book. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there's your tax write off. Just,
Go
go
to
to
Hawaii.
Hawaii, write the story, and, boom, there's your tax write off. I
Yeah.
did not
Oh,
say
I.
that, by the way. I did not say that.
That's right. We'll edit that part out.
There you go. Uh, well, listen, we are about out of time. Did you have anything else you want to clue us in on about what you got going on?
Uh, not that I have specific dates on, but there's always stuff in the pipeline. If you check the website, the coming as soon, and or follow
Hmm.
me on social media. Like today, we did a piece of a cover reveal for Dante's Reckoning, which is the third in the horror western series. So we shared a little bit of the cover today. So if you follow me on any of that stuff, there's always new teases and whatnot coming out. So yeah.
Sure, sure, great. Well, we hope that everybody out there will do that because you've got a fan in me, and if you ever get the idea to go to Hawaii, I can fit in some luggage. I'm just saying, you know.
I
And
like this plan. Look at
well, Bobby, listen, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to catch us up. It's great to talk to you again. Always fun, and we're very much looking forward to seeing you at Retcon next year.
Oh, absolutely. This is always fun. I love talking with you guys, and I'm looking forward to being in the same room with you. That'll be fun.
That will, and we wish you continued success, and just hope that you just keep plugging away, and we'll just keep checking back with you. And anytime you got something you want to give a shout out about, plan to catch us up. We'll look forward to talking to you again.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, this has been the Halfling for the Halfling and Spaceman, talking with Bobby Nash, and we will see you next time.